Spring 2021, the season of anime that has sent shockwaves throughout the entire anime community, as the season that has both surprisingly and unsurprisingly followed the hype train that was Winter 2021. The all-star roster of shows that Winter 2021 brought revitalized the entire community with shows like Attack on Titan, Jujutsu Kaisen, Mushoku Tensei, and Horimiya, just to list a few. With this, it was no surprise that Spring 2021 would have an incredibly difficult time to bring anywhere near the amount of hype that the previous season had. That said, as the season has progressed and actually nearing the end of said season, we have seen Spring 2021 provide shows that have far exceeded any and possibly every expectation that we've had, and has cleared any doubts that the season wouldn't deliver in terms of quality shows. We've seen old and new shows appear within the season, and amongst these shows, we've had a surprising amount of so-called hidden gems. Well, at least they were hidden at one point, I think. Shows like Vivi, a show filling in for Attack on Titan this season as the new hyped up anime coming from Studio Wit and the creator of ReZero. To Your Eternity, the cry porn show of the season that is basically the anime equivalent of those Indonesian insurance company adverts that just breaks your heart in such a short amount of time, like what the fuck. Fruits Basket, coming back with its final season to help bring to a close its wonderful dramatic plot, and even Shaman King is back for some wonderful childhood nostalgia. As you can see, this season has provided plenty enough shows to satisfy each and every weeb with a variety of shows. But, as you've probably seen the title of the video, I wanna talk about a specific show in the season that is currently scratching the itch that another particular series has carved into me. Super Cub. Now, if you haven't guessed already, the particular show that I was referring to, the show that has brought a new level of comfy into anime, the show that will appear in your Google search results when you search how to cure my depression. Okay, maybe that last one was a bit excessive, but was it really? You'd have to wait another millennia to get another show somewhat matching the level of cozy comfy ooh vibes that Yuru Camp had. Well, rest assured, you don't have to wait another millennia. You only had to wait for the next season. In comes Super Cub, a show about a high school girl named Koguma that discovers her newfound love for a Super Cub that she buys after complaining about the long commute from her house to her school. I mean, who can blame her? She's a cute anime girl. She can do anything she pleases as long as there's a budget to animate anything that comes to mind. Moving on. The moment I read the show's synopsis, I was already curious about it. How are they going to present the show? Is this going to be a new Yuru Camp type of show? All of my questions were answered in just the first episode. The show starts off with an uncomfortable lack of literal and figurative color. But then, the moment that you see Koguma ride her Super Cub, you see the show come to life. Color fills the scene and you can sense the subtle yet obvious emotion in Koguma's eyes as she takes her cub down the road. Slowly, you realize that this bike really is becoming Koguma's one and only source of happiness. That is, until we meet Reiko, a fellow cub rider that I fell in love with at first sight. I mean, look at her. Do you not see the cuteness and passion this young lady exudes from her soul? Better yet, here's a scene of her literally going up Mount Fuji on her sick cub. All by herself. How can you not like her? Okay, enough simping. Back to the video. Throughout the show, you see not one, but two cute anime girls experience the subtle joys of taking care of their cubs and actually putting them to good use. You see them buying gear, doing maintenance checks on their cubs, learning more and more about cubs, and how to enjoy them. As each episode passes by, you get to experience, along with these cute anime girls, a little bit of an emotional boost because it's just simply so satisfying watching these characters living out their hobby and their passion of riding and using their cubs. Not only that, but just like Yuru Camp, you also see how the characters in the show interact with each other in such a wholesome way. As of writing the script, we get to meet Shi-san, Koguma and Reiko's schoolmate, whose family runs a French, Italian, German, British, American
無国籍というか無節操
cafe, and with that you get to see just these wonderful interactions between the characters, and overall it brings the same game out. Or so I thought. Although while I have been comparing Super Cub with Yuru Camp, you also have to understand that Super Cub really is an entirely different show, and you can see that in how different the show is presented compared to Yuru Camp. You don't get Yuru Camp's cartoon-esque and much more lively presentation in Super Cub. Instead, you get a much more, not exactly dark, but emotionally toned down type of show. Of course, both have cute anime girls, but that's where most of their similarities end. Each show presents their cute anime girls in entirely different styles. In Super Cub, you only get hints of somewhat the same colorful tones every now and then, and most of the time you're in a desaturated world that lacks a bit of color, and in turn, you see how that reflects onto the characters in how, instead of having their own quirks, they have more personalized attributes to them. Does that mean the same thing? Probably, but you get the point. The entire show feels more human and somehow hits home in a way that I can't quite describe other than depressing. Depressing not being the exact term, but personally I think Super Cub gives the same feelings you get when you lose contact with your friends, but in turn, find other hobbies and make new friends. Sure, it might not be as lively or as fun without many friends, but there are other subtle ways to find joy in life, and Super Cub really encompasses that. Overall, I've enjoyed Super Cub so far, not as Yuru Camp, but as a show that I never thought would really hit me the way it did. If you're planning to watch Super Cub, and I hope you do, please take everything that I've said with a grain of salt and watch the show as it is, bearing not many expectations, because this is a show that doesn't rely on the hype or great plot or beautiful animation. It's a show that presents itself in an honest manner, without any flashy or eye-catching aspects. It's a well-directed and well-written show that doesn't hide from its realistic presentation. I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and I hope you enjoy Super Cub as much as I will.